Hi, this is Dan. I was going to talk about confidence after adversity. Let me start with something I've learned the hard way. Confidence is not built when things go well. Confidence is built when things fall apart and you decide who you're going to be next. I've been fired. I've been told no one likes you. I've had 30-year veterans question my authority when I was younger. I managed 22 states and then was removed from the role. I watched markets succeed. I've watched one collapse after we spent $500 million building it. And here's what I've learned. Adversity doesn't destroy confidence. It exposes whether you really ever had it. The illusion of confidence. I was managing 22 states and I thought I was confident. I had authority, I had title, I had responsibility. And then I was told I was being removed because of negative feedback. And in one moment, everything external disappeared. Title gone, status shaken, reputation questioned. That's when I learned something powerful. If your confidence is based on position, it will disappear when the position does. True confidence is internal. It's built on identity, not applause. It's built on growth, not comfort. And adversity forces you to separate ego from character. So here's how that story went. It was the biggest leadership responsibility of my career. And one day, my boss, Don, called me in. He looked at me and said, Dan, no one likes you, and I'm tired of listening to it. Now, when you're in leadership, you learn how to stay steady. You don't react, you don't defend, so you don't crumble in front of your boss, especially. So I remember clearly what I said. Don, I coach Little League football, and sometimes I have to change the quarterback, and they never like it. I understand. And then I went home and I cried. I loved that job. I had poured myself into it. I had built teams, made hard decisions, taken responsibility. And in one sentence, it felt like it was all slipping away. And after I was removed, I had two choices: blame or rebuild. I chose to rebuild. For 6 months, I worked on myself: communication, self awareness, humility, listening. I listened to every positive motivational tape I could beg or borrow. I stopped short of stealing. No one applauded that season, and no one posted about it on social media. There were no awards, but when the opportunity came back, I was different. And 6 months later, I returned to that leadership, not with arrogance, but with depth. Confidence after diversity is quieter, it's stronger, it's less fragile. The football lesson in my youth football, when you change quarterbacks, half the team questions you, parents question you, players question you. But leadership is not a popularity contest, it's responsibility. And here's the lesson I learned from both football and business: you can survive being disliked. You cannot survive lacking character. Confidence after adversity isn't loud. It isn't chest pounding, it's steady. And knowing you've made the best decision you could and being willing to improve where you need to. Here's the lesson: confidence is a byproduct of action under pressure. No positive thinking, no affirmations, action. Being at one point, I applied for a job and was told essentially go away. And I was interviewed with the vice president. And that moment could have confirmed every insecurity. But instead, I applied for a higher position in the same company and got it. Why? Because adversity clarifies something. Are you going to shrink or are you going to expand? Confidence after adversity isn't loud, it's decisive. It says, you don't get to define me. There was another time I replaced two supervisors in an office. Upper management asked how I spent my day. I said, honestly, by 10 o'clock, I'm done. So he gave me 5 more offices to run, and then it took me to 2 p.m. If you have people that are working for you that know what they're doing, they get the job done. And that honesty followed me for years. Adversity teaches you be careful, be humble, be clear. Confidence isn't careless, it's disciplined. And after 40 years of leadership, here's what I now believe confidence is: the willingness to take responsibility, the ability to self correct, the courage to try again publicly, the discipline to grow privately, the humility to listen. Confidence after diversity is not ego, it's earned stability. Let me leave you with this. You don't build confidence by reading about it. You build it by living through what tries to break you. I didn't study adversity from a distance. I lived it. I managed 22 states. I was removed because no one liked me. I rebuilt. I returned stronger. I was told go away and applied for a higher position and got it managing the position I previously applied for. I replaced 30-year veterans and handled the backlash. I've led national sexual harassment training since 1991, standing in rooms where tension was thick and conversations were uncomfortable. In my 70s, I've shifted again into wellness, coaching, real estate, and business building. And I'm still building, still stretching, still growing, still taking hits, still getting back in the huddle. And that's not a theory, that's credibility. And here's what that means for you. Whatever adversity you're facing now may become the very thing that qualifies you. Confidence isn't about avoiding impact. It's about earning your authority through it. And when you've lived it, no one can take it from you. Thanks for listening. I wish you a great life.